On this week's edition, we're going to tell you about a wine-oriented downtown Fredericksburg restaurant that's recently expanded. All right, so today I'm at 909 Caroline Street at the Cork Table restaurant with Jim Fallon, who's the chef and owner of this wonderful restaurant. And we wanted to just start off by just asking Jim to tell us a little bit about Cork Table.
So we've been located here in downtown Fredericksburg for 6 years now. We've been very proud to be a part of this community. We like to see ourselves as the place that people go to celebrate the finer things in life. We give the best food and service possible. I have a classical background with French cooking. I present that in kind of a casual, fun, accessible manner. And I also possess a very strong wine background of a trained sommelier and have a real passion and love for European wines, South American, all kinds of high-quality winemaking, especially done on a small level by small family-owned producers.
So talk a little bit about sort of what you all have been doing to sort of get through the COVID pandemic, and now that we're hopefully getting through it, what your plans are going forward.
So from the start, we had a recognition that we would do some food to go. That was certainly an element of how we got through this. But first and foremost, being such a specialist in a fine dining experience, that's hard to put in a box and take home. So what we did was emphasized our fixed price wine dinners. And so we would present a new menu each week with 5 courses of food designed by myself specifically for those wines, 5 unique wines with a theme. We tried to really maintain the highest level of safety for our customers, obviously respecting social distancing and masking, but secondarily we were reservation only. And we really stressed to our customers the importance of just being careful and respecting other people. That was really helpful to get through, focusing on that type of business, secondarily supported by some online sales. And during the course of the pandemic, we recognized that the important thing was to prepare for coming out of the pandemic, which is the period we're in now. During this period, we were able to secure another suite within the building we're located to add a second dining room, which allowed us to maintain social distancing and still do the kind of numbers that we needed. And then coming out, we're redesigning this new space to accommodate special events and have a sort of another unique side to us.
You mentioned the specialty of your wine selection. You actually recently did a wine webinar for your customers. Is that right?
Yeah.
Bringing in sort of experts all over the country. Talk a little bit about what that entails.
Yeah, well, we like to create an experience for a customer in which they're offered a little bit of an education in the wine world, access to some of the history and knowledge of wine that is available. So with being during the pandemic, we have hosted multiple webinars, and these are led by usually winemakers in whatever country they are. And we have a group of people that gather and we watch this webinar and taste the wines alongside them and get specific knowledge from these winemakers about the soil they're working with, the climate they're working within, and their vision for what the experience should be like.
So, Jim, just talk a little bit about sort of what are some next steps that you see, that some of the things that you're working on for, you talked about the expansion, but some of the additional things that you hope to do over the next few years.
Well, in addition to developing more and more of these special events, we had developed a really wonderful event before going into the pandemic called the Gathering Table. And as you might imagine, the Gathering Table was a communal dining event, which we did not gel with what was going on during the pandemic. But coming out, we hope that if people get sufficiently vaccinated, we can return to it. It was a really fun, little less formal event that allowed people to meet and interact with each other. And additionally, we've secured corkandtableonline.com in addition to already having corkandtable.com. And with the online website, we're hoping to create a situation where we can sell wines in the same way that we do in the restaurant, thematically paired for the evening, sets of wine to complete a whole meal, and wines that are uniquely selected and based on their affinities for certain foods. So that's a big project we have going on.
Well, we look forward to everything that's to come, and we congratulate you on your the successful years you've had here and the expansion that you've had. So we're delighted to have you part of the Fredericksburg community. So if you haven't been to Cork Table, be sure to come check it out. 909 Caroline Street between George and William Streets in the heart of downtown Fredericksburg, right across from Market Square. So Jim, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Bill.
And we'll look forward to being back soon as customers.
So, cheers, everybody.
All right, so that'll do it for this week's edition. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and sign up for our Fred Focus newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date on everything going on here in the Fredericksburg area. See you next week.